Hang on. Risa and Novelia.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on.
Oke, selamat pagi, Mem dan teman-teman. Di sini saya dan Noveli akan mempresentasikan the second of part of the meta function, that is interpersonal. Yang harus kita pahami dulu, kalau transitivity tadi adalah membicarakan what is happening, the experience. Kalau interpersonal sendiri adalah yang bermain di sini adalah tenornya. Tenor itu adalah the speaker, orang-orang yang involved di conversation itu, atau bisa kita katakan bahasa mudahnya the relationships between the people. Boleh scroll? Ya, jadi di sini jadi di sini kita akan membicarakan beberapa istilah, yaitu ada kita sebut mode, ada kita sebut subject, finite, nanti ada complement juga.
Okay. Can you deliver this presentation into English because the name, or how you call or you pronounce it will different from Indonesia?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, ma'am. So there are three aspects here that we will be talk about. The first one is the speech function, and second is the mode typicality, and the last is the mode structure. Next. Okay. For the speech function here, as you can see on the screen, when we do a conversation, there are things that we exchange. Here we can exchange information or goods or answer service. So depending on the goal of communication, we can either give or demand something as a commodity. We call here the commodity. Next. Nah, from the Susan Agent's book, we can see in the table. Okay, there are speech role here. When we giving something, it can in the form of statement, or when we give good on or service, it can be in the form of offer. And then when we demanding something, the information, it can be in the form of question. Or when we demanding goods and service, it in the, what is that? Can you zoom in? Okay, we have mode typicality here. First, for the speech function, statement can be delivered in the form of declarative, and question in the form of interrogative, like WH question. Command in imperative, it's usually in the verb one form, and offer in the polar interrogative, or we can say in modulated interrogative mood, like something like would you like, would you mind, like that, for offer. Next. Okay, for the example, it can happen in a class when a teacher asks something. The student may give an answer, but the tone of the answer suggests that he or she is not answering, but asking the teacher a question. Or for example, when someone asks, what time is it? When we not sure what time is it, we can say 9 a.m. The tone is a question. So it's not only in a, what is that, declarative, or in the type of statement. And we have mode structure here. Okay, the identification deals heavily on the mood structure. For example, he isn't my teacher. He isn't is the mood, and my teacher is the residue. He wasn't a piece species. He wasn't is the mood and residue. And how to recognize which one is mood, which one is residue is by doing a TAC test. TAC test is more. For example, here, he isn't my teacher, is he? So from the negative form in the tag, we transform it into a positive, and otherwise, when the the first clause is negative, we transform in the tag question in negative. Pak Dodo isn't my teacher, and we can analyze which one is the subject or the mood here is by doing the tag question, is he? So Pak Dodo is not written again Pak Dodo in the tag question, but replaced in a pronoun as he. So Pak Dodo isn't my teacher, is he? She will come, won't she? Will here in the positive form, won't she in negative form from will not she. Next. Okay. Okay. So subject here actually similar to the classic grammar like Maria said before. Subject here usually in the form of noun or a noun phrase. Next. So what is subject? Subject, it relies the things by reference to which the proposition can be affirmed or denied, what is held the responsible of the conversation, and how to identify it by doing a tag test. Next. Will be explained by my partner, Novelli. Time is yours.
Okay, my friend already explained the first type of the mood elements here, subject, and then the next element that we call as the mood constituent here are finite and the polarity. Here, based on the Halliday and Matheson, they define that the finite in terms of its function in the clause to make the preposition definite, to anchor the preposition in a way that we cannot argue about it. In the traditional grammar, finite is a part of verbal group that will express these three things like tenses, modality, and polarity. And then, like been said before, the identification that we can do here is doing the tag task, which is here the finite is the verbal part of the tag. For example, we have two sentences here. The first one, George was reading Henry James, wasn't he? And George here as the subject, where was here is the finite. And then the second finite in form of the tag here is the wasn't, and then he as the subject. And then in the next sentences, we have I did learn the English language from this guy. Didn't I? The subject here is I, and the finite is did, and then the second finite in form of the tag didn't, and I here is the subject. And we have another example here. As we can see on the screen, we have example of the sentence, she went to the theater. We can define here the mood consists of the subject and finite here as the tense, and the rest of these sentences can be called as the residue. And then for the second sentence, we have Jane Austen can write. We can see here mood consists of the subject, which is who is Jane Austen, and then another mood here as the finite in form of the modality, as we can see for the word can, and then the rest is the residue. And then for the next example, we have she is a writer. We have to be here can be said as the polarity plus. So next will be explained that polarity will help us to define which is the negative one and which one is the positive one. Is here is the polarity in a positive form, where the subject and the positive polarity here can be said as the mood, and a writer can be said as the residue in this sentence. And then the next we have, he is not a writer. We have mood here consists of the subject and the negative polarity, and the residue as a writer. And the type of finite above refers to finite verbal operator, which is written in the Halliday and Matheson. And for another kind of finite, we have finite modal operators. Anchors the preposition not by reference to time, but by reference to the modality. As we can see here, we have subject, finite in form of modal. In this sentence, Henry James is the subject, and then finite modal, we can see here is school, and rest is right. And then the next model in the next sentence, we can see here as mark. And then we can see that the finite here carries either tense or modality to make the preposition arguable. So the goal here is
Okay, stop over there. Novelty, yeah, novelty. Sorry for novelty. Novelty.
Yes.
If you say Harry James and then could write, okay, here you have subject and finite, yeah, finite modal. So what about the mood analysis here? Where is the mood and then where is the residue?
We can take the subject here and the finite modal as the mood, and then the residue is the right.
So Henry James could. It is the mood. Is it?
Yeah.
And the residue is right.
Yes.
What about if here, yeah, Henry James writes. Henry James write a novel, for example.
May I, ma'am?
Yes, Risa.
So, in analyzing a mood, we have to understand that there is a term that called fuse. Fuse is a combination. So, like you said before, Henry James writes, ma'am, writes with S.
Yes,
Writes
with
the
S.
novel. To analyze it, we should separate the writes here. Consists of does and write. So
Okay.
Henry James does write the novel. And the question to test it, is it really the mood? We should make it in the question, does he? So Henry James writes the novel. Does he? Something like that.
So Henry James write is half, yeah, half of mood analysis and half is because half belong to the subject and half belong to the rights itself, ya. Semua harus paham loh ini ya. Jangan hanya ini memindahkan buku ini.
Untuk yang kalimat.
Ya. Makanya saya hanya ngecek apakah memang kalian itu memahami gitu. Oke, now Paria. Thank you ya, ini banyak betul karena ini buku dipindahkan begitu.
Yes, ma'am.
Ya. Oke, now for Paria. Where is it?
Yes, ma'am.
Paria. There are two terms of mood analysis, ya, M with OOD capital O, and then MOOD with M capital, and then OOD small letters, and then MODE. How can you differences between three terms? Yeah, Paria. Faria or Salama, Rista and Eva. Yuk. Mana ini yang lainnya? Oh, nggak jawab. Ada 3 term di sana.
Bentar, ma'am.
Look at in the screen, ya. MOOD with all capital, and then M capital OOD small letters, and then MODE. Apa itu bedanya mereka? Mereka bertiga itu. Come on. All of you, please. If you know the answer, please answer my question. Ya, nah. Ayo, one of you, please. Ini ada yang di sini. SK, mood. Terus di sini MOOD itu besar semua yang di kotak ini. Terus kemudian yang syntax ya. SFG, mood. Kecil-kecil tuh, nggak gede-gede tuh. And the last one is MODE. Apa bedanya itu?
Ma'am, kalau yang
Yes.
mood in capital itu grammar dalam makna interpersonalnya.
Okay.
Kalau yang tadi M
This is the grammar ya.
of ya. Itu refers ke speech roles and speech function-nya.
Terus MOD.
Mood yang MOD.
MOD is the channel ya. So we have 3 terms here. Yeah, the first one is the structure. What is it? The analysis structure. Yeah, mood analysis. So this is the analysis with the what is it? You can analyze by MOOD capital letters. Yeah, but MOOD is the small one. Okay.
This refers to the speech function and
speech function, and the last one is the channel. Yeah, so this is 3 difference. Yeah, you can analyze by MOD mode. Yeah. For example, over there, subject, finite, and predicate. Yeah, that's subject and finite. Yeah. This and the last the rest is residue, and then mine.
Yes, ma'am.
So why no, not why, yeah, what is the function of mood analysis here?
And mood is a clause as an exchange, or exchange in bahasa Indonesia is pertukaran. Why it is called as an exchange? Because one of language because karena salah satu fungsi bahasa itu adalah pertukaran informasi. Jadi di sini mood itu adalah pertukaran interaksi dan pertukaran informasi dalam dialog.
Okay, so it will relate to interpersonal and satunya kemarin apa? Interpersonal dengan apa teks itu?
Ideational and textual.
Textual and
No. That's about the meaning ya. Interpersonal satunya apa? Kok lupa? Transaksional ya, transaksional and interpersonal. Nah, interpersonal itu hanya untuk ini aja. Interpersonal for social interaction ya. Ini kenapa yang dianalisis adalah tenornya. So what is the function? Varia again, Varia or Salama. So what is the aim? Yeah, the objective of mood analysis. Yeah. Come on. Ngapain sih harus dianalisis gitu? Fungsinya apa gitu? Untuk cari apa sih sebenarnya gitu? Oke, untuk
Wait, ma'am.
interaction-nya tadi. Terus apa lagi? Ya,
Ma'am, to realize the social relationship within the language user, like in your
ya,
daily life.
ya. Jadi ada apanya antar orang yang exchange the information tadi itu?
Kalau
Ya.
mungkin menggunakan dari novel tadi katanya social interaction with how do we speak or say to older people or young people. Jadi apa namanya, karena ada status sosial yang menjadikan bahasa itu menjadi bahasa yang sopan dan
Oke.
tidak sopan, dan mungkin
Oke.
ada juga ini.
Okay, thank you, Paria. Yeah, so it is because it based on tenor. Yeah, tenor is the person who speak the language. Yeah, it is why we call it. It is meta function. Ya, jadi bukan bahasanya itu sendiri, tetapi fungsinya gitu. Kalau bahasanya kan di sini we can do the homework tomorrow. Itu bahasanya gitu yang kita analisis gitu. Tetapi untuk apa sih? Ini kok ada moodnya, ada residu. So this is the meta function of how the people speak. Ya. Nah, nanti juga akan bisa membedakan di sana kan fungsi-fungsi tadi ada deklaratif, ada kalau polar itu biasanya bertanya gitu ya. Yes, no question dan sebagainya. Itulah yang harus kalian tahu gitu, ciri-cirinya. Ya. Jadi itu memang betul untuk social function gitu. You harus tahu ini bahasanya bagaimana kalau you pertama kali mau bertanya aja sudah enggak benar gitu ya. Nah, itulah gunanya untuk tahu how we analyze the language ya, to have the interpersonal meaning. Ya. Nggak mungkin novel itu, Bu, kerjakan ini, Bu, gitu. Nggak mungkin kan? Nah, kalau saya bilang Noveli kerjakan ini, boleh jadi begitu karena ini you sebagai mahasiswa, saya sebagai gurunya gitu. Saya memerintahkan pada guru, tapi kalau murid nggak bisa memerintahkan ke gurunya gitu tuh. Iya, lah itulah social functionnya di sana. Ada power di sana, ya ada yang kata Paria tadi, ada fungsinya karena kita berbeda gitu, berbeda posisi di masyarakat. Masyarakat kita apa ya, kelas ini gitu. Kalau saya bertanya siapa yang mau menjawab, nggak ada yang menjawab, saya tinggal gitu. Kenapa? Karena saya punya power untuk meninggalkan kelas ini gitu. Coba ya pas begini Risa, Bu saya nggak suka ibu, saya tinggal gitu. Ya terserah situ gitu. Ya, oke. Thank you very much for Eva, Handayani, Risa, Parja, and Risa ya, especially for Risa and Noveli. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ya.